we want you to understand how you can deliberately utilize universal laws. Because when you understand a law, first when you accept that it exists, and then when you understand it, and then you understand your emotional relationship with it, now you've got it all figured out. And so we've been describing it through the years in a lot of different ways. But we've come around to a way that is really the easiest to understand. And that is that through your own exposure to life, you clarify the details of how you want it to be. Now, you were born with a very clear basis. You wanted to be happy, and you wanted to feel interested, and they go together. Something that is fascinating to you, something that draws your attention, something that you can expand in, something that you can discover more in. These are very important but general pieces that were in place even before you came into your physical body. So you wanted to feel good, and you wanted to be interested, and you wanted to be really interested, and being really interested was really necessary for you to feel good. So that was all the basis. And you knew that you were being born into an environment that could provide endless stimulation and satisfaction. You also knew that it would be fun to start out with an idea and then allow it to never-endingly expand. You knew you could jump from idea to idea and that the ideas would be stimulating and exciting, but you also knew that you could get hold of something that interested you in a particularly strong way and that you could stay focused upon it and that it would have the ability to continue to expand in a way that would continue to be satisfying to you. Satisfaction is really what you came into this life experience for. The satisfaction of your interests being satisfied. So exploration and discovery and then satisfaction. That's the basis. Now the details of all of that are for you to pick up along your physical trail. So almost as soon as you got here, you started deciding where your interest was just by looking around. And in those earliest of days, it's true for almost everyone. In those earliest of days, that's when your bells were really ringing, because that's when you begin again. That's when you were most likely to discover who you really are and what you really want, because in those early days, you had not picked up as much resistance along your physical trail. So the things that sort of delighted you in those early days were the things that you were tossing into what we're calling your vortex. It's like a vibrational creation. So by knowing what you don't want and knowing what you do want, or knowing what you do want, you've been building the details of that through the framework of this physical life experience. So your vortex contains all that you were before you came into this body, all of those powerful, basic, general intentions that were yours. And then the further definition that you are adding to that vortex every single day. Now, something that you have not heard us say before because we have not said it before is that once you have knowledge of this vortex and you get a reasonable handle or control on your own grid or your own point of attraction, so that things begin flowing from your vortex into the grid, which is our way of describing momentum, and it's also our way of describing manifestation. Manifestation of stronger feelings, manifestation of thoughts coming into your mind, manifestation of further interest gelling in your mind, and manifestation of other co-creative partners, and manifestations of physical things like assets and businesses and concepts and all of that, team partners. As what's in your vortex begins to flow into your grid, in your conscious awareness of that, you can be sorting and sifting and putting something into the vortex as recently as just now. And you can be in the frame of mind, meaning the vibrational state of being, that almost as soon as you toss it in, if your grid is in the right vibrational proximity, it can feed right back to you, which is what instant manifestation is. It's the true mastery of utilizing this energy that creates worlds. As fast as you can think it in pure thought, it can appear in your experience. So that's really what you came for. You didn't come to dabble in this. You didn't come to struggle in this. You didn't come to prove worthiness with this. You came for the sheer exhilaration of having a platform that inspires you to the degree that you can toss the idea into the vibrational soup, let it mix with everything else that is already there, because as the friend that we were talking to just a moment ago, you can want abundance, but already in your soup is wanting the upliftment of the world, so you're not ever going to be able to get back abundance through stealing from other people, because your vortex just does not allow that. There's going to be negative emotion, there's going to be distortion in the force, and discomfort in your physical experience. Did you follow all of that?
That last part was a little bit more difficult.
Well, we were having more fun with it than we should have. But, we just want you to know that anything that inspires you or interests you, and the reason that we're using the word interest with you in a stronger way than usual is because we can feel how much you like to get hold of something and play it out. And we want all of you to know that you have the power to please yourself mentally more than you are allowing. In other words, most people who come to these forums want money and physical conditions and relationships and peace and quiet, and but there is so much more to be experienced in the form of a clear mind and a fast wit and good timing and the attraction of fun co-creative partners and exhilarating conversations. There is so much more joy to be experienced in the vortexual process. And yes, we started yesterday by saying, of course you want the manifestations, of course you do. But we do not see humans experiencing the joy of pre-manifestational creation anywhere to the degree that you intended when you came forth. You intended to take much more pleasure in your mind than most of you are allowing. And because you demand the manifestations, and the manifestations don't come instantaneously, then the discomfort of the manifestation not coming instantaneously causes a disruption in your vibration, which slows the whole thing down. Are you following? Where if you could just be more exhilarated about the pleasure that you're taking in your mind. And audiences all over the world, as we were having this conversation, say, oh, blah, 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 Abraham, you're just trying to talk us into being comfortable with things not happening because we've got this buffer of time here in this physical time-space reality. We say, no, really, it's more about you missing the deliciousness of the power of your own mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.